My 2023 Model Y Performance has an issue with air leakage in the front passenger tire. A few months ago, I had the tire replaced at Discount Tire. After contacting them about the problem, they discovered that the rim has a crack on the inside. I spoke with Tesla and they informed me that this issue is not covered under warranty, which raises my concerns about the quality of the products being used. The cost for a new rim is $1,080. I have purchased the rim, but I'm still waiting for it to arrive. Does anyone have this problem?
Yeah, I've got a long comment here from Lorenzo, but it's really good. It says, when you hit potholes, this stuff happens. And that's what's happened here. Just on a side note, uh, this doesn't happen very frequently with trucks and SUVs because the sidewall of the tire is much taller. So the difference between the top of the tire down to the wheel, you've got a lot more cushion. Well, in performance cars and in sedans and Teslas especially, this is a performance model. So it's got a low profile tire, which means a small sidewall. And that means that there's less cushion when you hit a pothole really hard, especially a sharp edge pothole. You've got less cushion between the top of the tire and the wheel, and it just pinches down and it bends the tire. And when you look at the picture, you can completely see that there's a bend at this crack mark. It's clearly bent. So he has hit a pothole here. But anyway, Lorenzo continues and says, you should get a set of forged wheels or aftermarket wheels. I'd cancel the order if you can. Heck, order a set of T-Sport lines. You'll be better off. Then have them switch all the tires over. I paid under $1,000 for all 4 of mine for my Model Y Performance when they had a sale on them. My OEM Stock 21 sit in my garage. I should post them for sale. Going down another one, Omer says it has nothing to do with the quality. Even expensive Mercedes and BMW cars can have cracked or bent wheels if you hit potholes at the right speed. It's normal wear and tear and will never be covered under warranty. And then Christian Gordon says, really, really good comment here. It's a super heavy car with cast aluminum wheels. This is a common problem on all kinds of cars. The last Cadillac I had, I cracked a rim. It happens. This would count as an accident or misuse damage, not a quality control or a vehicle build issue, therefore not covered under warranty.
Tori, this thread is bringing back flashbacks to my service manager days. And I want to explain to everyone a warranty is covered from a manufacturer's defect. So it typically is pretty black and white of a manufacturer's defect because you can prove if it's negligence on the owner's behalf, it's not covered. If there's no signs of negligence from the owner, then it would likely be considered a manufacturer. Here's the most interesting thread. This is Nick Benson says, no manufacturer will cover it under warranty. And then Owen said, I had 2 replaced by Holden under warranty on my HSV Maloo.
A what?
They should, I don't know what that is, but he's from Australia. So
Uh,
anyway,
Ah,
they should bend before they crack. This is a defect. And then Nick says, maybe in Australia. In America, I assure you it's not a manufacturer issue. It's caused from hitting something, most likely a pothole. Owen then replies, if there's no evidence of impact, it's a manufacturing fault. In Aussie, it would be covered under the consumer guarantee legislation. So
but this
this
does
is
have
interesting.
evidence of
So
impact
then
event.
So then Sean says, wouldn't a crack in the wheel be evidence of impact? So we're just going back and forth. No, a wheel does not just crack. There would be evidence of impact to concrete or asphalt at the point of it. Anyway, just
But he's
interesting.
he just literally contradicted himself in my opinion. Not, I mean, I understand what he's saying, but a wheel does not just crack. He's saying that like it should be under warranty. A wheel doesn't just crack, but everybody else is saying that like,
Well,
hey, a
he's
wheel
saying
doesn't
it
just
does
crack,
not
somebody hit
just
it.
crack. He's saying it does not just crack. Uh,
Oh, there would be
Unless
other
unless it's
evidence.
a manufacturer's defect, there would be some evidence. Um, you know, that's interesting though. Is this an aluminum wheel, Tori?
It is.
So here's an interesting thing
Aluminum
about
doesn't bend very well.
aluminum versus steel. Aluminum tends to crack under impact, where steel tends to bend under impact. So I don't know if Owen's, you know, I don't know if his black and white analysis of a wheel does not just crack. Aluminum does crack under high impact. This happens very common in the motorcycle world with swing arms that are aluminum and they crack due to that exact thing of impact. So yeah, I'm not saying Owen's not right, and Australia, obviously, with having consumer guarantee legislation is different. But anyway, just an interesting dialogue here, and sometimes manufacturers or dealerships will have what they call a goodwill. So if there's a gray area like this, sometimes the manufacturer will just cover it under goodwill, even though it's not definitive. It's kind of a gray area, but you're a good customer and we want to take care of you.
Yep.
Sometimes they take a hard stance and say, sorry, man, this had to be from impact and we're not covering it. But
Yeah.
a pretty healthy debate there.
In this case, you can see what appears to be a little bit of a bend at the crack, so there's obviously a sign of impact, but
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then if there's a bend at impact, then that crack happened from impact. So,
there is another couple of good comments here, just 2 more to cover. Carrie says, "Buy one used or buy a used set." We already read somebody else's comment where they said, "My original ones are sitting in the garage, I should sell them." You can find a used set of Tesla wheels on Facebook Marketplace or eBay for pretty inexpensive. And then Shane Mullen says, "That's an easy weld." And I do want to point
yeah.
out that there are wheel repair shops that
Yes.
will, if it's bent, they can straighten it, and if it's cracked, they can weld it, and then they will, sand it down, and they'll make it look like new again. But if it's on the inside of the tire, it's even easier, or the inside of the wheel, because it's hidden.
We've got a regular wheel repair guy that we use, and guess what brand is pretty much his best customer?
Tesla.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh Yeah. Yeah, that's really good advice there, Tori. There's a lot more affordable ways than going and getting high gross for a brand new $1,000 rim. So, especially, why do you want a mismatched brand new rim with 3 other used rims? If you buy one used, you're just matching your set out. So